the dietetics program in the biomedical sciences department, and today we're going to talk about how to meal prep. So meal prep is a big deal nowadays because it's hard to get dinner on the table when we're all in a rush. So a couple of tips to get you started. First, keep a running grocery list on your phone or on a piece of paper, so when it is time to go to the grocery store, you're ready to go. Second, use an app to order your groceries. It's a great way to save time, and you're also not buying things you don't need. So we're looking today at buying one set of groceries and meal prepping it in 3 different ways for 3 pretty different meals. So the first thing we used for our meal prepping was a crock pot. Definitely a working person or a busy student's dream because it cooks while you're at school and you don't have to do anything. So when we did our meal prepping list, we chose a lot of different vegetables. So they have a lot of vitamins and antioxidants, and they can be used in a variety of ways. So when we looked at the crock pot, first thing you're gonna do is put your protein in. We chose chicken breast. Then we added our celery, carrots, and some chicken broth, and then just some spices. So we have some spices here like oregano, basil, thyme, those type of things, and poured the broth over it, cooked it on low, came home from classes, came home from work, and it's ready to go. If you would like to add a starch, you could certainly add cooked pasta or cooked rice. The second meal using those same ingredients is a sheet pan dinner, and these have gained a lot of popularity lately. And a sheet pan dinner, you cut your vegetables at a uniform size so they cook about the same rate. Your next step after you have your veggies and your chicken on your tray is to add some oil, just so it doesn't stick and to help things get nice and brown. We're using olive oil here, but you can really use any kind that you like. And then use a flavor or a sauce. So this is a low sodium teriyaki. I'd recommend low sodium because these are pretty high in salt and they can get really salty over time. You can also make your own sauce. You could add soy sauce. You could add all kinds of different flavorings, whatever it is that you like. Drizzle that on and be pretty generous. Make sure you get some good flavor in there. It's what's gonna coat the veggies and the chicken. So we used almost this whole bottle on this sheet pan dinner, okay? Then before you pop it in the oven, you might want to add a few spices. So again, we use the same spices we used over here, which was oregano, basil, and thyme. And just sprinkle a few of those on, give it a little bit of extra flavor. If you want to add some salt and pepper, that's typically a really good idea on a sheet pan dinner. And then you're just going to pop this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at 400. And you don't need to turn it a whole lot. I'd probably stir the veggies one time, the whole meal one time in that 25-minute period. And then our last meal prep looks at using a foil pack. And these are a great way to use up when you have just a little bit of veggies left over or a little bit of starch left over. So what we have here is we have, again, the same veggies. We have a starch and a sweet potato, and then red peppers and broccoli. And then we're gonna add a chicken breast that has been filleted in half, so it's not quite as thick. You want it to cook at the same rate that your veggies cook. You're gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it, or whatever kind of oil you'd like. You can use a sauce, again, if you want. We're gonna use just a little bit of the teriyaki sauce, but you could also add different flavorings. You could add basil, you could add thyme. You can also make this with a starch, like you could put rice in it. At the bottom, you could put regular potatoes if you're not a sweet potato fan. There's a lot of versatility in all of these things, okay? So put your spices on, add a little bit of salt and pepper. You can add a little bit of onion if you like onion flavor or onion powder, garlic powder. Take your foil, fold it over, and make a little pocket, okay? Now these packets are awesome because you don't have any cleanup, all right? And the packet, you can cook it on the grill, or you can cook it in your oven. You'd probably want to cook it at 375 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, depending on the thickness of the meat. In your meal prepping for the week, you're going to make your veggie list and all your groceries, then use one set of groceries to do 3 different meals: a crock pot meal, a sheet pan dinner, and a foil pack meal. And we hope this saves you time and you're eating a little bit better this week.